Hello everyone and welcome back. I think this is video number 4 and we're going to create something a little bit more game-like today. We're going to put some conditions in and start to add a score, etc. And I've got a different way of doing the actual video as well. I'm going to show you some final code and then I'm going to unpick it with you and show you what things are and what they're doing, and then you can actually create the code yourself. So rather than click along with me, it's almost like looking at the end product and trying to figure out the code in between. Okay then, so I'm just going to move here. Here's the bit of code that we've got, and it looks really complicated at the moment, but don't worry, I will go through it all. So notice that I am clicked on the ball. So that is, this code is associated with this ball. And what I want to do is that I want to have a scoring function. And what I want people to do is to manipulate, using those arrow keys that we used, the actual ball throughout the maze until they get to the end. But what I want to do is that every time they touch a rectangle or wall, they lose a point. Okay, and they start off with 10 points and then they lose points. And once they get to 0, it's game over. Game over, man. So this is the code that we've got. And the first thing that you'll see here is a variable. Now, normally here it's on motion and you need to come down to variables here. And you probably won't have score, and you'll have to make a variable by clicking there and saying score and adding it. Okay, I usually make it for all sprites, but you can make it for a single sprite if you wish. So here we have the actual control part again, and so we're definitely saying when it is clicked. And the first thing that we want to do is that we want to set the score to 10, because this game is not going to give you score, it's going to take scores away when you hit something. So if we go to the variable, we can see here that there's a little jigsaw piece, a little code block that sets set to. Okay, and what you could do once that's connected, you can go to this little drop down and pick up the variable that you've got. So here's the one that we want, score, and we can set it to an amount. So say, for example, 10. Now what we need to do, we need to set something up that is always checking. It's always checking over and over and over again. And we've got two things that we need to do with this. We've got to, if you remember when I made my blocks, I had a black surround. And you don't have to have that black, but if you do, then it really dictates the color that you actually choose next. I made sure I had a black surround. So what I want to happen is that if the ball touches that black, then you lose a point. Okay, and so therefore what we do with this, we find an if block. So if this happens, then do something. Okay, if this happens, do something. And the next place that we need to do, we need to get this blue bit, and that's actually in the brackets called sensing. And this is when Scratch actually senses, it waits for an event to happen and it's looking out for it over and over again. And then once it's happened, then it will do anything. So up here you can see touching color. And you can drag this down, and this is one of the really nice things about Scratch. Can you see the shape of that block? Well, this code piece is exactly the same as that block, so it will go into it. If I had something like a variable, say with my score, can you see that score will not go into that hole at all? Okay, so it's really good for the children to see what could go in and what can't go in, and it really helps with that thinking. So I'm going to drop this in here and then we've got touch and color. Now I'm going to choose black. So I'm actually going to put everything like that. I could click this eyedropper and pick up a color like that. So I can actually come onto the black and click it like that, which is fine. And this is really helpful if you're not too sure what that color is. So you can actually press it, go to the eyedropper, and then pick up that color. So if the ball, because we're in the ball, that this sprite touches black, then we want them to do something, and we want them to change the score by 1. So here you can see change score by 1, and this will fit in here. We want to change the score, and this one needs to be -1 because we want it to lose points. Okay, we actually want it to lose points, and that's it. Now the important thing is we want it to check this all the time, so we need to send it in this loop forever. And so we can pick up our control again and then have a forever loop and stick it in there like so. So we can see now that when the green flag is clicked, we will set the score to 10, and then forever it will keep checking that if the ball touches black, it will change the score by -1. Okay, and so that'll just go. Now you can here, if you go to variables and press score, you can actually, clicking it here will make it appear on the actual background on the stage there, so you can see score is 10. So now if I need to get ready with my keys, I'm just going to put this down. We're going to put it right the way down to 1, so it should be quite slow. Okay, now watch my score. Watch my score when I touch the black. You see how quickly it went down because I touched the black. Whoa! Can you see how quickly it's suddenly going down? Whoa! A huge amount. Okay then, so that's fine. So we can stop it. Okay then, so you can see that this part is working, and notice that if I press start again, it goes back to 10. Okay, it goes back to 10, and then the idea of this would be to control the ball using the arrow keys, trying not to touch any of the black. Oh, so close. But if we did touch the black, you know, like that, it'll go right the way down. So now we're at -20, 168. Okay then, so let's pull the ball back there. So now we need to put in the something for it to check whether or not something has actually happened, and then we're going to use that to change the background to game over, okay, that we made in the previous video. So we need another if statement, so we'll come in with this one. Now I'm just going to move things around a bit so you can see what we're actually playing with at the moment. So if something happens, now I've already demonstrated to you that we can't put this score in here. Okay, we can't say if score something. Okay, and what we need one of these green bits, which are the operators. These are the operators that actually do sort of like mathematical calculations. Okay, and what we actually want is this one, and you will notice that on this it has a circle one, which means that we can actually add our variable to it. And it has a condition. Okay, it's saying when score equals so-and-so, then do something. So together, this is going to say if score equals so-and-so, then do something. So we can pop score in there. Look, it fits rather nicely. This can go in there. So if score equals, and we can put 0. If score equals 0, what do we want it to do? Well, we want it to go to our backdrop that says game over. Okay then, so all we need to do in looks, we need to switch backdrop to, And then here you could do your little drop down menu, and if you remember, we made one called game over, so that one's in there. And then what we want it to do, we want it to stop the game. We just want it to go stop. That's it. You are over and done with. And there is a little block here that is called stop all. Okay, stop all. And this will actually put there. And if you notice the shape of it, once it's got to that, you can't click anything else to stop all. It's like there's no clickability in it. Okay, so we've got that now. Now we got this huge loop here, and so what we can do, we can actually slide it in to this forever loop that we've got here. So it's going to constantly check for these two parameters, these two sort of like options. And it's really important to sort of like recognize that it does this very quickly. It does this extremely quickly. So I'm actually going to, right, we'll remove the one that was here already. Oh, it only likes, let me just delete all. I'm just selecting it and pressing delete at the moment. Okay then, so here we go. Let's stop it. And then let's have a look. So off we go and go. Oh, now, sure as I touch a rectangle, it's going to almost like say game over. Oh, game over. Okay, because I got to 0 and it stopped now. I can't do anything. Notice that when I press play now, that up here, when green arrow is clicked, we're going to swap it to maze. Okay. Oh, okay. Now there's a problem, isn't there? Because what we need to do is that when we press that green, we need to put the ball back in its starting position. And that's what I'm going to leave you with, that situation. I would like you to see whether or not, set up your game how it is, and I would like you to see whether or not up here in one of these, probably in this one, I call this my set everything up. How do we get the ball so it always appears at the beginning? Okay, and then once you've done that, come back next time and we'll look at something else. Hope you've enjoyed today's Scratch. And yeah, I think they're looking a lot more like a game now. So have fun with it, and I'll catch you next time. See ya. Bye.